Hey, this is Elijah with the Oxygen team, and in this video, we're going to take a look at what's new in Oxygen 3.5 Alpha 1. 3.5 Alpha 1 is a feature release that introduces two new features. The first is custom attributes, so let's take a look at that. Here I have a simple bit of JavaScript that is supposed to change this text below these icon boxes when the icon box is hovered. And this text should be populated with the data from an attribute called data-tooltip. Now I've set up the script, but I have not added the data attributes yet, so let's jump over to Oxygen and I'll show you how to set those up. So here in Oxygen, we're just going to click one of our divs here, and we'll make sure our properties pane is visible, and we're going to go to Advanced Attributes, and we'll click Add Attribute. And we know that our JavaScript is looking for an attribute called data-tooltip, so we'll name it data-tooltip. And then in here, we'll say whatever we want that text label to display when this particular div is hovered. Something like, this is our middle ground option. It is great. And then we'll need to add tooltips to the other divs as well. So we'll go over here and we'll go to Advanced Attributes, add an attribute called data-tooltip, and then we'll say this is the best one. It has everything. And then finally, we'll go to this div here, and we will go to Advanced Attributes, add an attribute, data-tooltip, and say this one is super basic. And save. Now let's go to the front end and preview what happens. So when we hover over one of these divs, watch this little text label down here at the bottom. We hover over it, it fades out and it fades back in with the text value from the data-tooltip attribute that we just created in Oxygen. And this one changes appropriately also, and so does this one. So custom attributes are very versatile. There are a lot of JavaScript libraries that allow you to use custom attributes to implement their effects. And prior to this feature, it was possible, but a bit more of a hassle to implement custom attributes in Oxygen. Now, you may have noticed that my styling here isn't super consistent because when we hover over this box, we get a nice scaling effect. But on the rest of these, we don't. That's on purpose because our next feature is copy to and clear styles for selectors. So let's jump back into Oxygen and I'll show you exactly what that means. So let's go over here, and we have a class called hoverable, but that's not actually handling any styles. That's just related to our JavaScript. So we're going to select the div here, and we'll go to Advanced and Effects, and here we can see our transition is set up. And if we go to the hover state, we'll see that we have a transform, scale 1.1 on the X, 1.1 on the Y, and 1 on the Z. So this is where all of our styling is on this ID. But we've already created our other boxes, and we want them to have the same styling. So how do we do that? The best way to do that is with classes. But if we've already styled everything on the ID, the class's styles won't have enough specificity to override the ID styles. Well, that's no longer a problem with our copy to and clear style functionality. So we have this on the ID, but we want to transfer all these hover styles and everything to a class so that we can easily apply it to these other boxes. So we're going to go up here to the selectors, and we're going to add the class that we want to use. So we're going to call this, say, icon-box-hover, and we'll add that. Great, but it doesn't have any styles yet. So even if we add it over here to these, icon, use the autocomplete there to grab that, icon-box-hover. So we've added that class, but it doesn't have any styles. We need that class to have the styles from this ID. So we'll go up here, and you'll see these three new icons in the selector dropdown. One's a trash can, which does the same thing the red X has always done. It deletes the selector. The eraser icon deletes all styles from the selector. And then the copy icon copies the styles to another selector. So what we need to do is we need to copy the styles from the ID to our icon-box-hover class. So we'll click this, and then you can see that our ID is grayed out and our icon is lit up, indicating that we're in a copy state. We're going to pick the selector we want to copy those styles to, which is icon-box-hover. And like that, all the styles are transferred to the class. We can see this by going to Advanced, Effects, Transition. See the transition has been set up. The hover state has been transferred as well. And you can see it's now affecting all of those boxes because we added that class. But we still have the issue of the specificity of the ID styles overriding the class styles on this particular box since we started with an ID. Well, we can fix that by going into the selector dropdown and just erasing all the styles from the ID. So we'll save that and jump to the front end. And now we have a nice hover effect on each of these boxes. Even though we made a mistake and applied the styles to the ID of this box, it was easy to recover from that mistake and transfer everything to a class and then apply the class to these subsequent boxes. So again, this is Elijah with the Oxygen team, and those are the 2 new features in Oxygen 3.5 Alpha 1. Thank you for watching.